Speed Triple 1200 RS. What do we think of it? Goes well, amazing engine. It's got like 2 stages to it. It's like a Civic Type R. At 7,000 revs and up, it just picks up and goes yet again. Fantastic. The dashboard, very clear, easy to read. Quite like that. Loads more gadgets than you actually need. Don't particularly like switch gear. Indicator stalk's a bit flimsy and you can't really tell whether you've got the indicators on or not, but self-cancelling indicators is good. Keyless, I actually quite like that personally. I know it's a bit hit and miss for a lot of people, but I quite like that. You can just have the key in your pocket. You haven't got to mess around with getting the key out your pocket to put fuel in or to start the bike or whatever. So I personally quite like that. Mirrors work okay. Brakes are good. They need adjusting on this demo bike. Other than that, not too bad at all. The suspension is fantastic, as you'd expect from Öhlins. Can't fault the suspension at all. Get loads of grip and feel through the tyres, which are Metzeler Race Decks K3s, and they're absolutely superb. Brakes, of course, Brembos, M50s, can't go wrong with that. Comfort-wise, it's very comfy for me. 6'4", fantastic. Can't fault the comfort at all. In the bike, compared to the GSXR 1000R I've just taken out, the front wheel spends a lot of time in the air, depending on how you ride it. If you don't make progress, it does seem to keep going skyward quite a lot, and you are hanging on, which doesn't help. Try to keep the front wheel on the deck because you're just pulling back on the bars. Quick shifter. Quick shifter works well. Not as smooth as the GSXR 1000R that I just tried. Down through the box, no problem at all. Up through the box, it's a bit hesitant. There's a bit of a delay there, but the bike's nice and light, and yeah, it's pretty good. Other than that, can't really fault it. So there you go. If it's something you fancy, it'll certainly do. It'll certainly do some touring. A bit sporty for touring, probably, but it would do it. It's quite comfy. But there you go. Quite impressed. Do I prefer it more than the GSXR 1000? It's more comfortable, but that's about it. I think I prefer the other riding position, and the fueling on the Suzuki is a bit better, but that's my personal preference. And you can't really compare the two because one's a full-on sports bike and the other one is a sports retro, sports naked. So there you go. Anyway, that's that. Back to dealer. Quick review of the 1200 RS. Not bad at all. So I just wanted to do a quick voiceover given the very short time that I had the Speed Triple. I didn't unfortunately have my Gopro with me at the time, so I didn't get a chance to speak a bit more about the comparisons between the 1200 RS and the GSXS 1000 that I rode. Now obviously the GSXS 1000 is £10,999 on the road versus £15,500 for the Speed Triple. So I mean, we're talking £4,500 difference between the two bikes, and obviously an extra 25 horsepower with regard to the Speed Triple. But I mean, I think if you like the looks of the Speed Triple and that's what you want, and you want something British, then I can understand why you would go for it. Certainly with the Öhlins suspension. But I think if you were going to compare them as road bikes directly, then really that extra £4,500 buys you the Öhlins. Is it a better road bike? Personally, I wouldn't say it is. I don't think it's worth the extra £4,500 unless you really want the Öhlins suspension. The other thing I was mention was the seating position. Now the GSXS 1000, the seat height on that is 810 millimeters, whereas on the Speed Triple it's 830. So if you're a little bit short of leg, then that 20 mil it might make a difference for you. The other thing, of course, being is the weight of the bike. 214 kilos is the GSXS. So, initially it seems quite heavy, but it's also got a 3.5 litre larger fuel tank. So that's 3.5 kilos right there. You're talking 210.5 kilos versus 198 kilos. So 12.5 kilos difference basically between the two bikes. And the GSXS, the width of that is 810 mil. Versus 792 for the Speed Triple. So it's actually, actually a little bit narrower. And I think, riding the GSXS, it certainly feels like the bars are that little bit wider, and certainly, a little bit of extra leverage. And the wheelbase, interestingly, the Suzuki is an awful lot longer. Now, according to the specs on the websites, the wheelbase of the Suzuki is 83.27 inches, and the Speed Triple is 56.89. So you're talking 26 inches difference in length. Now I find that hard to believe that they're that far adrift from each other, but without getting them side to side, it's difficult to know really. It doesn't feel like it when you sit on the bike anyway. So yeah, but there you go. So that was just a quick roundup, and certainly as far as the seating position goes with the Speed Triple, it does tend to pitch you into tank a little bit more. It kind of pitches your nuts into the tank, whereas on the Suzuki it's a bit more of a laid back riding position. It's a bit more neutral. Obviously the Speed Triple is a little bit more aggressive, but it needs it because it spends a lot of time with the front wheel in the air if you start getting a bit ham-fisted with it, which is good fun. But so anyway, yeah, there we go. That's a quick comparison between the Speed Triple RS and the Suzuki GSXS 1000. So if you want to save £4,500, I've got to say, I mean, apart from the blingy suspension and the extra 25 horsepower, if you think you can use that, of course, then the GSXS has a lot going for it. So there you go. Anyway, well, thanks again for watching and sticking with the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully, I'll be a bit better prepared with the GoPro, and we'll resume business as usual. We'll catch you soon. Thanks so much.